A very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for being here for this presentation. I'm Anant Deshpande. I'm one of the co-founders of FinBox. We are India's largest alternative data based scoring startup and a leading loan origination software startup. We are based in Gurgaon and have offices in Gurgaon, Bangalore, Mumbai, and most recently in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. We're soon going to start offices in Manila in Philippines and Jakarta in Indonesia. Yeah, I mean, these are some of our partners who we are, proud to partner. My career has been into big data and underwriting. The biggest and the most frequently asked question used to be, how do I approve this borrower if I can't know his income? How do I approve this borrower if I cannot figure out her location and behavioral characteristics on loan repayment, her financial health? So this is how we came about our first product that we're going to showcase here. It's called Device Connect. The second product that we are going to showcase is our low-code, no-code business rule engine called Sentinel. So we are really excited to bring these two products to you live in action today. We'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions once we are done with the presentation or here just after the presentation as well. Can we go forward? Forward. Okay. The first product, Device Connect, helps lenders get access to rich alternative data in real time for credit underwriting and cross-sell and collections purposes. FinBox Device Connect is India's leading alternative data scoring platform. Today, we power loans for more than 2 crore borrowers every year, and more than 25 NBFCs, banks, super apps, and lending platforms use Device Connect for enriching their customer profile, merging it with credit bureau information, and making real-time credit decisions. So we're just now going to show you on the screen an app. Please imagine that as your app, and we're going to showcase Device Connect in action right now. So just to show you the device, typically device has these kind of transactional messages that you get from various businesses. These are the various apps that are installed on the device. Now we are opening up FinBox app, which is actually your app now, where we're signing in. So a user is essentially getting generated in your app that gets registered on FinBox. The user is firstly asked for a various set of permissions in order to get access to enriched data. So this data is transaction SMSs, location, phone hardware statistics, and the list of apps that a borrower uses. Once the borrower says grant access, there'll be specific pop-ups which the borrower will have to allow for a very specific purpose here to get underwritten. The next thing is for the borrower to actually give their mobile number, which will come to this use case of their mobile number. So here it is, the user has gotten created on your app. A FinBox user has gotten created, and this user's data is now getting synced. So this user's data point is one of the 2.5 billion data points that we process every day. And just like with all demos, we face this glitch. But just to let you know, in the background, what is happening is the borrower's device is that hosts our SDK is kind of getting access to a set of data points from the device. You just saw the list of those data points. Within the device, the SDK is anonymizing this data. So if Anant Deshpande was written in any of the SMSs or anywhere in the device, it'll replace it by a hash. If my PAN number, if my Aadhaar number, if my account number was written in the device, or it appears on the device in any form or way, it gets hashed. So that is what is happening inside the SDK. Once this anonymization process is over, this anonymized set of data point, all these data points actually go to our AWS servers hosted in Mumbai. And this data is then processed by our data enriching engine. What then happens is that the data enriching engine will look at all this unstructured data and start making sense of it. For example, for all transaction SMSs, the engine will figure out how many bank SMSs are there, what all accounts are mentioned in the bank SMS. So my account would be Citibank ending with a 25. Citibank savings bank account ending with 25 has what kind of balances, what kind of incoming or outgoing transactions. So all those transactions are getting now populated in the system. Similarly, all the apps that I have installed will be analyzed to really create a appographic profile about me. And in real time, almost in real time, that is within, let's say, 15 to 20 seconds, you get access to all of this rich insight. So imagine all of this insight and more is hitting your any kind of a business rule engine which you have and which you use to make decisions. The first and foremost is the score. You see the score is 760. This typically represents nearly the top 1 decile. It's written the score is better than 88% of users. The factors that govern the score of 760 is that there is no delinquency amount that is present in the device. So any lender, when their loan is not repaid, will send messages to the borrower saying that, your loan is now overdue. Please pay immediately to avoid any penal charges. So that wasn't found. Absence of risky lenders. So the kind of lenders that this borrower has and the borrower uses is like banks and known NBFCs. Instead of, let's say, these fly-by-night digital lenders or, those Chinese apps that used to be there earlier. And one more thing that actually reduces the score of the borrower is that their minimum bank balance that they've maintained across, let's say, the last 6 months, the minimum bank balance is low. So if you maintain, let's say, 10,000 plus, your bank balance is healthy. If your bank balance goes below, let's say, a certain threshold, if it's 100 rupees, then you are basically running out of cash during the month. Then there's income and then affordability that shows how much disposable income we see on the account. I think we can go down further and come to a very important aspect, which is fraud. This device has a fraud flag of false, IP address fraud flag of false, identity mismatch true. The reason is that we used another user's device but input my phone number. So the SDK was able to say that, the borrower is using a phone number that is not found in the device. So therefore, it is potentially an identity mismatch fraud. Location fraud is false. This is some metadata about this user that we just showcased. Huge number of SMSs, apps, location data points, and this is just some kind of a graphical representation of what type of apps this borrower is interested in. We clearly see that the borrower has huge number of productivity apps, as well as presence of finance and business apps keeps the borrower in good stead. The last or the second last bit you see here is the location, which of course is this place. Okay, so this is all the rich insight that you've seen. Now it's time to make a decision based on this insight, right? When you have bureau information, when you have all the device information with you, you need to make a credit decision on the borrower. So we now bring to you our second and one of our marquee products, which is called Sentinel, which is a low-code BRE. I would now request and invite my colleague Sanoop to join me on the stage and take this demo forward.
Thank you, Anant. Thank you for giving detailed insights about Device Connect and introducing Sentinel. So I have a very short time, so I'll try to keep it light. So BRE is a use case which is it's basically a primary tool which facilitates your underwriting. And traditionally, BRE has been used on top of bureau or banking data to figure out if a customer is eligible and what is the offer. But there are multiple parameters that factors in towards the riskiness of a customer. It can be the borrower experience that is brought in. So we believe that the quality of borrower that end up in your portfolio depends a lot on the journey or the experience that the customer gets. Few more things like if you want to onboard multiple partners and expand your reach or try cross-sell or upselling products in your journey, you would want a tool which is able to manage multiple partners and having the ability to tweak some changes easily. And finally, with the availability of real-time data in hand, like Device Connect, you are able to add a layer of fraud checks on top of your credit underwriting policies. I would, just to explain Sentinel better, let me show you a live demo of how the product looks like. And let's pick a very simple use case. Let's say I'm an NBFC and I want to expand to tier 2, tier 3 cities. And a major roadblock that I face is underwriting NTC customers. So now I would want to use Device Connect into my policy. And if I encounter an NTC customer, I would want to create a eligibility check based on device and also the offer calculation on top of device. So let's look at this use case. The way we look at credit policies is in the form of a workflow. We have nodes which represent certain things. Like let's say I want to explain you the use case using a policy. So the first node that I would add is the bureau node. So just like how device creates insights from alternate data, we have a product which also creates insights on top of your raw bureau data. That is fed into the system and the insights is further used in the policy. So let's say I have a bureau score greater than certain threshold. I would want to execute my current running policy. And if it is an NTC customer, let's say I want to create new policy which is specific to device data. So again, the first thing which I add is the device data, and then the insights that I get from device are then further used. Now, this block here represents the hard-bound conditions in your policy. So these would be your go, no-go parameters. And once a user passes this flow, then we have certain things which controls your borrower experience. So let's say I have an income from device which is greater than 50,000. Then I would not want him to upload a bank statement. I would want him to go ahead with device-based calculations. So you can control your borrower experience using this. And now focusing on the offer calculation. Let's say I have a interest grid which is a function of my device score and the income that I'm getting from device. So just to give you brief explanation here. I would get an interest of 12 if my bureau score is greater than 800 and income is greater than 80,000. Right. So that's how easily you can create your own risk buckets. You can use it for scorecarding. You can use it for partnership management also. And the final block is where you compute your offer. So the language, as you can see, is very simple and is very much like Excel. So we believe that the control of policy creation should lie with your risk managers and not an IT team or a third-party vendor. So yeah, so that's about it. And I have a few other blocks, but I think I'm out of time. So this is how I would be constructing a very realistic use case of moving into a new segment. And all of this happens in the dashboard directly. Now I'll just switch back to the presentation and answer an important question which you might be having. That is, who is using our product currently? So the lenders, so these are some of the lenders that are using it, and the use cases are different for each lender. So for example, IFL and Aditya Birla is using it primarily for the credit underwriting problems. PFL is using us for their fraud checks. So this is again built on top of Device Connect. And Muthoot FinCorp is using us for the underwriting plus the partnership strategy. So these are some of the use cases that are governed, that the lenders are deciding how the Sentinel should be used. And yeah, I think that concludes my session, and I would give
Thank you so much, Sanup, and thank you so much, everyone. So if you want to, let's say, empower your credit risk managers and, let's say, take the control of the policy deployment and take it from the IT to place it in risk team's hands, please consider subscribing to Sentinel. And if you have a alternate data strategy already, then we'll be waiting for your call. Thank you so much for your time today.